Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020, Career Mode, episode 123.
The pack's deficit is being cut back.
We're at the Tour de France. It's stage 8 already because the whole front half is almost all sprint stages. We already got a stage victory with our favorite, with our man, Pavel Rodriguez. He's still on his fitness peak at this point, and as a result, he's got a nice +4 race day condition today. Could this be another day? Could this be another opportunity to grab a win for Rodriguez? Well, he certainly has the condition for it. We'll see if we can pull it off. Punchy finish. We got to get over this climb first. You can see Mishik Smith, the only one on a negative race day condition, and I've got a lot of guys with fitness peaks to support Rodriguez for this race. But again, they're all going to have that similar problem of they started their fitness peaks weeks ago and they're about to expire, even though we're still early on in this race. And unfortunately, it's supporting mostly the sprints and not other things. We are only about halfway up here, so again, you're going to have to ride a little harder. Harder, not softer. Hey, how it does that, you try to roll it up and it goes the wrong way. Berwick got dropped. Killen, Telford, both on the verge. Oh, come on, Ginn. And he sits up. Ginn was on the wheel of Debussy. Now, they ended up getting split off anyway, but there's no reason why Ginn should have just sat up when he was still on the wheel of that rider. There was no gap anyway. That's unfortunate that happened. We lost extra support rider that shouldn't have been dropped there. We got our 3 guys up here. It's just 48 left in the Peloton. I don't technically mind if Ginn ends up getting back. It would be nice to have that extra guy. There's not a lot of climbing to do at the end, so Rodriguez is going to be in pretty good shape for that. It's 18K to go. We will get Johnson or Millar. Johnson's a little more tired, so yeah, we'll get Johnson protecting Rodriguez from here. Ginn's group, they'll make their way back in here in just a moment. It looks like, anyway. Linked up with that group. And they're back in. Okay, so Ginn is going to protect Millar. 74 riders. Ginn's got enough time to get up there to provide some support. 12K to go. And we'll have a 4-man sprint train. And see if we can't get another win. Expectations? Yeah, well, that's a little much, but maybe we can at least get him on the podium. Grab a few more seconds. Alright, 8K to go. Bring this thing to the front. Ginn's obviously going to go first. Millar's going to lead him out, I believe. Yeah, 81.77. Johnson's going to be pretty good at a 79, but only 73 there. Actually, you know what? Ginn's going to be a little more punchy. Let's get Johnson going first. Only a little descent right here, so we need to get out Rodriguez. Johnson, stay to the left so we can actually get behind you. 6K to go, and this is it. We're already on the base of the climb. He'll get us through this first section, not hurting Rodriguez. I should be gelling up for these guys.
There are just 5 kilometers left.
Asgreen, Youngles, Ducanic really putting foot down as we go over the top of that first climb. Johnson's going to set it up for the second part. And that's a 3-man group for us. And there we go. Johnson now brings it out as we approach this last sector. 2K to go. Sorry about my phone there. Okay, 1.8. Come on, Ginn. There you go. Don't lose Bardet. Here goes Millar. 1K to go. Millar sets up Rodriguez. Rodriguez. Okay, we're sprinting, aren't we? What? It confirmed sprint, and he never started his sprint. He was still somehow tucked in on follow. I clicked it right down the middle of the button, and I have a new mouse. I was having issues a while back with clicking and not getting the click because my mouse was dying. I have a new mouse. I did click sprint right down the middle. Having some issues with that lately. Maybe it's my eyes. I need glasses. I've had really good eyes my whole life, but I'm getting older and I think I'm due for glasses. But that certainly looked like right down the middle. Anyway, we miss ever so slightly getting seconds on this stage. Rodriguez didn't have a lot of red bars, so when we would have sprinted, we would have faded. So I don't think we're going to beat Tish Minute or Alaphilippe there. But we certainly would have been higher than 8th. He just sat on Millar's wheel, even though the order was sprint. Well, the bad news, we don't gain time. But the good news is a lot of riders lost time. 41 riders were in the front group. That feels like a little much compared to what it was, at least what I think it was. But anyway, 41 riders. Everybody else loses a minute or more. So suddenly we have a much more narrow group at the top. And Pavel Rodriguez goes from 60-something to 20th overall now. And we're going to start to see it take shape. I mean, we've got sprinters, punchers. Valter's the first strong climber down in 9th. McNulty in 10th. There's your first threat at 36. There's Shockman, Moscon, Barrow, Carapaz. That's where you start getting into the good climbers. And we're only a dozen seconds behind, other than McNulty and Valter, who have a little bit of an advantage. Stage 9 could be tougher, but it also could be a lot easier compared to a lot of stages. It's got some climbs, 4 in a row in the middle of the stage, but they're all in the middle of the stage, and none of the 4 are really that bad. And then to the finish, there's one minor Cat 2, how's that a Category 2 climb? And then a short finishing climb. So it is a punchy stage on paper. In reality, we could have the entire Peloton together as we approach if nobody makes it hard. Well, the only area where you could really do some damage is right here. And you know what? I want to do some damage. I don't want a complete Peloton. I'd like to see if we can drop 1 or 2 riders. Rodriguez has a plus 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to make this stage difficult. We're going to take these couple of guys and bring them up. We'll use 3 for now. 3 riders, and then we're going to protect down the other way. So again, protect Rodriguez. Johnson is currently being protected by Smith. This climb features some
dreadful percentages. The pack is slowly whittling away the lead. A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack.
Protect Millar
they obviously
instead.
Don't have anybody in the breakaway group.
Johnson, speed up. All right, so 3 guys to the front. I'm going to try to make this hard and see if we can't start splitting off. If we can get through the first 3 of these climbs with a Peloton down to maybe 60, then we've got some sort of chance here of doing something with the end of the stage. Otherwise, it's not going to be worth it. We'll just have to set up. Right now, a single rider's been dropped as we go over the top. We pulled back the breakaway quite a bit in that little stretch.
We're halfway to the finish line. The team leaders should be coming more and more to the fore.
We're going to keep the foot down and keep attacking. So far, it's just 2 riders.
The group is slowly thinning out due to such a frantic pace.
Now we're starting to do a little damage, 145.
They're moving along at a fair lick. You've just got to hang on.
CCC seems to be trying to help with this.
It's in such percentages that the strongest can create some gaps.
Now we come to the front. Berwick climbing a bit better than the others.
There's an attack in the group at the front.
He got caught behind somebody going backwards. Lost a lot of ground. There you go, down to 77. I was hoping to bring it down to about 60. It comes back together though. Try to see if he can bring some water up. 68 in the Peloton is all Smith right at the back of that.
Watch out, a team leader is falling behind.
One group makes contact. Going fast, but apparently not fast enough to do too much damage. Pressure's staying hard, so 4-minute gap behind us, so nobody's coming back. That's good news. We're no longer the pace setters either. These guys are riding harder, and that's good. That means if it's difficult, riders are going to go backwards.
The Peloton has significantly increased its speed. The escapees
the end of the
have
break.
surrendered. The pack gave them no chance.
Johnson, yeah, nearly out of energy here. These guys are going for KOM.
This climb is feared by many riders. The percentages are very high.
No need to waste energy, but this will split the Peloton.
The pace seems much too high for many riders.
14, 27. Okay, this is what I've been waiting for. It's 35k to go though, and I've only got 2 riders here, so I can't really do anything about what's going on back here. But these guys, there's no way they're coming back. These guys don't look like they're going to come back. This group is going to regain contact. We're back up to, what, 58 riders? 68. Damn. We're sitting up. I don't want to let everybody else back in, but all I've got is one lead-out rider left. We had it. We had it there for a brief moment. We were down to a very small group, which guaranteed was going to include some of the top competitors out the back. But now all of a sudden, we're back to this. 30k to go. Johnson, go ahead and grab some water. Take care of that last time.
The riders have upped the pace.
Again, in a small group trying to regain contact. Ooh, no, they regain contact. What? How are we doing that poorly? Okay, Johnson got water to the ones that mattered. Millar did not get the water, though.
The pack is increasing the pace. It's going to be difficult to break away now. The riders are entering the
nice
last
little
50
downhill
kilometers of the stage.
To finish that. Ginn gets dropped. Only 3 riders got dropped, and Ginn's one of them. Okay, down to 68. Oh, things are going the right direction. There we go. Now the riders are falling off.
Now just 10 kilometers left.
Theo Daly's going to go out the back. There's a lot of guys struggling at the back of this group. And this is the penultimate part to the climb. And then we go into the finishing move from here. So Millar, Gel. Rodriguez comes up into position. He's got a little fatigue, but otherwise he's in good shape. 51 riders here, and we should see a little bit of a split on this last one, but will time gaps be given, or will we have 51 riders on the same time? Hard to say. Rodriguez. Let's follow Millar. Millar, start pushing to the front. The earlier we can drop riders, the better. This is less about a stage win and more about opening some gaps behind us. Zurishov, 0.4K.
Counter-attack by David Gaudu.
Inside the last kilometer, and it's a sprint from here. So Rodriguez going for it. Can he get the stage? This is super close. He's got it. He's got a second stage victory. Just beating Tishmanu by millimeters. Gaudu third, Yershov fourth, Quinn Simmons. There are all sorts of little gaps here. Can any of those be given, or do we have 22 riders, or do we have 51 riders? Little gaps. Little gaps all over the place. Now's the big gaps, guaranteed. Time gaps to those guys, but can we get any gaps up front? No matter what, we at least pick up 10 seconds again. 20 seconds through stage wins for Pavel Rodriguez. This is what I was talking about during the Giro. Few people criticize saying that pointing out the race day condition had nothing to do with it. You can see here, all it takes is a +2, +3, +4. That's gold for me. I can work with that. And we're already grabbing results. Unfortunately, though, he's into that last week of that fitness peak. So he's already down to a +2 instead of a +3. And it's going to be down to just a +1 soon. But a +1 is still better than what we were working with in the Giro. And we averaged a -1. So we are due. Gaps. Gaps are given 13 seconds from 5th place on back. Gaps from Toynes on back, 39. And then the big gap starting at 1:15. Dumoulin losing that time. Van Aert losing time. Großschartner losing time. Okay. So this is going to help reshape the GC a little bit. Not big time gaps or anything. This is very, very small scale. But it does make a difference. So how's it looking now? Gaudu leads the overall ahead of Alaphilippe. Ducanic 1-2. Punchy guys. Not big climbers. But we don't have the big climbs for, well, actually we're about to hit the big climbs because we have a couple sprint stages ahead of us, and then we're into the climbs. Stage 12, first climbing stage, 3 big climbs back to back to back. It looks like the green jersey is all but wrapped up as Caleb Ewan has a massive lead in this classification. So we have 165 riders in the Peloton. There's actually 5 riders out the back who have a massive deficit in this stage. They crashed, but the tempo's been pretty hot. There was 15 riders in the break. We've already caught them. I thought about putting a rider in the break to go up the road to help out on one of the later climbs, and then quickly realized that that's not going to be a thing to do today. The time gaps are still really close. So you're not going to get too many climbers who are allowed to get a large gap. There aren't enough time gaps. After this stage, yeah, you can go on and see a breakaway possibly getting a large lead and being able to hang on to it and being useful later on to help support a climb. Not sure what's going on here with Johnson and Killen, but Johnson drops back quite a bit. He is working his way back forward. Got caught behind somebody. All right, on to the base of the climb. 10K, 1,500 meters, 8.1%. 3 riders off the front. Climbers, not a big gap. They're just going to go get KOM points on that first category. And they might even be caught before the top. And speaking of, we might be down our first rider or 2 before we get to the top of this one. But halfway up, no damage yet, though the Peloton is shrinking. 132 as we approach the top. And 3K to go, and Telford's fading. So I don't think he's going to make it. I think Killen, who is fading, will probably recover a bit. Killen regained contact, but he's not lasting. He's already heading out the back. But some of these guys will. You can definitely see a group of them, though, that are just going straight out the back, drifting. So we're going to see a much smaller group in a pretty short period of time. 12.5K to go still. This is the Tourmalet, Col de Tourmalet, 17.3K, 2,112 meters, 7.4% average gradient. Started off a little gentle, and then it's just relentless all the way until the top. Again. I have to ride a little harder. He's fading. Okay, Smith has gone out the back. And they're down to 57. Millar.
This climb features some dreadful percentages.
Again.
The pace has
Again,
slowed
gets
somewhat.
caught behind
It's
some
perhaps due
riders
to
going
fatigue,
backwards.
but I'd bet on some sort of
And
tactical
we're at
choice.
46. And these three just got dropped together. So let's do something about this. Again, follow Millar, follow Berwick, Berwick, Gel, Millar, Gel. And Berwick try to pull it back. It's 35 riders at the front, but I've got 3 support riders right here in a small group, so it's worth it to make the effort, commit, and try to get back in contention. Meanwhile, we can still see those guys, so they're not too bad off. We dropped quite a few of these guys. Come on, Berwick. Gap just opened up because Berwick got caught behind riders going backwards. We are seeing a couple guys accelerate at the front. Johnson's fading. Berwick's done. Millar. Okay, we've seen McNulty, Barrow, Andrade, Champosen. We are seeing a couple guys going up the road. Okay, we'll gel up, see if Ginn makes it back in. Still 4K to go, and an attack. Oh, come on. Did you see what Rodriguez just did?
My, the guys up front aren't going to be making too many friends today. Another
Now seen as the front group. Millar is done. Again. Your turn, buddy. Don't think you're going to make it back, but we'll try. Alright, we've caught back up to McNulty. Barrow's still up there. Now it's a front 3. We can expend all energy at the top because we'll get a chance to recover. McNulty's been left behind. And we're about to regain contact with these guys. We can back off now. Champosen, Andrade, Barrow, Lumen. 1K to go to the top. Again. Yep, he's 2 minutes down. We lost all 3 of those guys. Alright, recovery on. Get yourself some water. And this is 4 chasing 1, so we'll have a front group of 5 entering the final climb. Well, assuming we make it back up
They're
there
heading
to
downhill,
him.
so they've got to make sure to keep warm and make no mistakes on their trajectory.
Lumen. Barrow chasing it down, so this is good for me. 17 seconds. I'm going to go full recovery through this descent. It's a minute 6 to McNulty. Murnick in the gap there behind him, and then there's your first real chase group. Alaphilippe is there. Wow. Rodriguez fully recovered. Fully recovered before we hit the bottom.
The riders are entering the last 15 kilometers of the stage.
All right, ready to contribute once again. We're going to close that gap down quick, I think, and we do. We get it to 5, but then we back off. Now, I'm more interested in the 5 of us making it to the top before everybody else, because that's a huge game changer. Having 12 in this group is not as attractive. So I think Uman
Falling
attacked
behind.
there.
A team leader is falling behind. 10 kilometers remaining.
Okay, we opened a gap behind. Back down to 4 at the front. Barrow,
The team
Andrade,
flags will
Uman,
be turned
Champion. It's the
upside
same
down.
riders. Opening the big gap behind. I'm just going to gradually make my way back up there. Do not need to waste energy here. Apparently, they're treating me like I'm the favorite. Okay, it's 2:11 behind. Now, like I said, I'm more interested in opening big gaps behind, like McNulty. But the moment I stop,
There's an attack at the front.
they
He
attack.
could go all the way.
6K to go. But we're through the steepest section.
Only 5 kilometers left.
Barrow to the front. This group's finally splitting off. I can ditch those guys. Okay, well, we ditched somebody. Who was it? Andrade. Nope, he's back in. 328 gap behind. Race is coming down to 5 men. 3.6K. I am recovering right now. But the gap behind is not shrinking. 3.2K. Nobody's working together at the moment, so we gotta watch that gap. But I'm liking the recovery part. When that gel kicks in, we're gonna attack. Come on, gel. Come on, gel. Come on, gel. Ready, set. 2.5 minutes is too small. Here we go.
And off he goes. He's giving it one last go.
Gap was down to 2 minutes there. 1K to go. Okay, never mind the stage. Never mind the stage. This is more
And the
about
final
time
sprint is
to
off. Who's
everyone
gonna be the
behind
first to
us.
the line today?
500 meters. Here we go. Can I hang on for a top 3 at least and gain some additional time? Cross the line together. I like that idea. 3 riders at the front. Barrow's going to get the stage. I gave up the stage. That's okay. It's the time behind. Champion with us. Surprising, but there we are. 3rd place. We gain an additional 4 seconds. We gain time on Uman, Andrade, and then big time gaps behind. Gaps that could have been bigger if those guys wanted to work together. They did not. We still have 2:13, 2:14 to Benut, Mesnada, Trentadou, Alaphilippe is the next group. McNulty absolutely blew up. There's Hamilton. Here's Shockman. Finally, McNulty comes in. 4.5 minutes down. Barguil, Sivakov, Mernick. Oh, that is huge. That's absolutely huge. There's Gaudu. Okay, here comes Ginn to the finish. Same time at the top. 27 to Uman. That opened really fast. 46 to Andrade. We brought it back up to 2:14 with that effort as those guys were quickly coming back, and that was just 2 riders and then 2 more riders, but those gaps really, really spread out between them because that was a decent-sized chase group. 407 to McNulty is huge. I now have the overall race lead. Barrow is just 5 seconds behind. We absolutely will have to watch out for him. 80 mountain, 80 time trial. That's worrying. We are a better climber, slightly, than Barrow is. 78 resistance. He's got a slight advantage there. We're pretty similar riders, aren't we? Pretty similar. Uman is still within a minute. Champion at 1.5 minutes. Andrade 2 down. Alaphilippe still in 6th place at 2:10. Tish Benut, Trentadou at 3. Shockman at 4. McNulty at 4:18. The gaps are almost too big to a whole bunch of riders already. We do have the famous yellow jersey to defend now. And it looked like on that climb, they were kind of forcing me into defending as if I'm the favorite. Huh? No, I'm not the favorite. There are still more than 10 riders. There were minimum 10 because the entire top 10 favorites were all 80 plus mountain ratings. So there are still really good climbers, though actually I think this group looks not quite as good as what we had at the Giro. That's a good thing for us. It's already showing in the time gaps that have opened up very quickly. First climbing stage, and all of a sudden we're down to 4 contenders maybe. I like it. It's a good start. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time.